Very good morning to one and all going to watch this video. I take this opportunity to just brief a little background of this program. You all may be knowing the present situation of our country and the globe. And Government of India, Ministry of Ayush has decided to train the Ayush colleges where they can have master trainers as their participant, and these master trainers will be cascading the training program to the Ayush students. And the purpose of doing it is these these Ayush students voluntarily can decide whether they want to join the program or they don't want to. Now decision is theirs, but the thing is that the purpose of training the principals, the HODs of all Ayush colleges was to make a pool of workers, the health workers, so that if at all the need is there, we all can dedicate and can support the government for the community health services. This was the purpose, and the training program was conducted on 4th March 2020. It lasted almost for 3 years, for 3 hours. And what I'll try to do here is I'll try to discuss all the vital or the highlighted issues that can be understood easily and that can be practiced easily. So I will not be discussing all those technical issues that may not be comprehensible for all the staff members or for all the students for that matter, because I just wanted to train students, those who are interns or those who are in class or in final year. But unfortunately, few colleges like us, they don't have final year students and they don't have interns. So they ultimately decided, okay, we can also train the first year, second year, third year students if we require. Now, let me give you some brief description of this pandemic. Now, see, this is the COVID-19 or the SARS COVID-19 2. It all started as a case of pneumonia, especially in Wuhan area of province of China. Now they were considered as pneumonia cases of unknown origin. Even Chinese, they were not able to diagnose it at that time. Now suddenly what happened? The first case was reported on 12th December in Wuhan province. Now on 1st January 2020, Wuhan sea market was closed because they suspected the origin or the uh, contributing factor was related to that sea fish market. So they closed it. And around 11 March, who declared it as a pandemic? And the first case was reported in India was 30th January. Now, what are these coronaviruses? They are nothing but they are large family of involved positive strand RNA like SARS 2002, like Merck 2012, and this is the present one is known as SARS 2 COVID 19. Now, initially, the Chinese also thought, or many scientists also thought, the virus was having very close resemblance with the bats. So they thought bats were the causing animals. But let me tell you honestly, no positive substantial evidence is yet established. Okay, moving on. Now, transmission. We should know how it is transmitted. The transmission is basically by droplets and by aerosols. Aerosols are nothing but small size droplets, whose size may be less than 5 micromillimeters. So, and the third one is the contact. So the first one is the droplets. When you sneeze, when you cough, you release some droplets that can infect the person. And aerosols, these are small droplets. That's why when your doctor says you should maintain 1 meter distance from the affected or from the suspected person, because these aerosols, they can travel even up till that distance, means they can travel up to 1 meter. And the contact can be when you are shaking hands with a person, when you are using the lift buttons, the door knobs, the railings, which are already used by any infected person. So these are the 3 or 2 major ways of transmission of COVID-19. Now, scientists measure the intensity of an infection or any disease by its reproduction number, that is called RO. This is for the medical students to understand. RO or R naught means that the average number of people a sick person will infect is called R naught. It is the average number of persons any sick person can affect. Suppose I am infected, what number of patients or individuals I can infect, that is R naught, or this is called the means it is the average infection that any infected individual can produce. Now, in case of COVID-19, it is estimated to be 2.5. It is estimated to be 2.5. So, whenever you think of COVID-19, or when you see the TV, when you read the newspaper, or when you visit any doctor, they keep on saying there is only one treatment for COVID-19, and that is social distancing, or that is called when you reduce social exposure. Now, suppose you reduce the social exposure to 75%. If the social exposure is reduced to 25%, one patient who is infected in 5 days can affect or infect 0.625 people. Please mark my words. If the social distancing or the social exposure is controlled by 75%, or it is not, the social exposure is banned for 75% of population, one infected person can affect or infect 0.625 people in 5 days, and in 30 days that individual can affect only 2.5 people. So if you observe social distancing properly, or if 75% of social distancing is observed, in a month one sick person can affect 2.5 people, means 2.5 लोगों को ही वो इन्फेक्ट कर सकता है. Now, if that social distancing is reduced furthermore, like if you only observe for 50% of the population, one sick people or one sick person in 5 days can affect 1.25 people. 1.25 people, and in 30 days that sick individual can affect 15 people or 15 persons. 100% में अगर आप 75% सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग को मानते हैं, तो एक इन्फेक्टेड आदमी 5 दिन में 0.625 लोगों को इन्फेक्ट कर सकता है और 30 दिन में वो केवल 2.5 लोगों को इन्फेक्ट कर सकता है। अगर ये 50% हो जाता है तो एक इन्फेक्टेड या सिक पर्सन 5 दिन में 2.5 लोगों को इन्फेक्ट कर सकता है और 30 डेज में ही कैन इन्फेक्ट 15 पीपल, 15 लोगों को इन्फेक्ट कर सकता है। नाउ सपोज वी डू नॉट फॉलो और वी डू नॉट ऑब्जर्व सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग, व्हाट विल हैपन? एक इन्फेक्टेड पर्सन, वन इन्फेक्टेड पर्सन और जिसको कोविड-19 के साइन एंड सिम्टम्स जिनमें मौजूद है, वो 5 दिन में 2.5 पीपल को इफेक्ट करेंगे और वो 30 दिन में करीब 406 लोगों को इन्फेक्ट करेंगे। नाउ जस्ट सी द रेंज। सो द डॉक्टर्स, द सोशल वर्कर्स, द टीवी चैनल्स, न्यूज़पेपर्स, they keep on saying maintain social distancing or social exposure is, to avoid social exposure is the biggest like treatment till now available, because till now there is no such substantial therapeutic measures are available anywhere in the world, and vaccines are not yet prepared. They are still trying to prepare. So I think the students must have understood कि सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का कितना महत्व है। अगर आप सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग नहीं करते हो, हम कितने जल्दी कितने लोगों को 30 दिन में इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं। ओके, नाउ as we all know, COVID-19 is a respiratory pathogen or virus, easily transmittable or transferable from person to person. We all know this. Who are the risk or who are the risky people or the persons? Those who have crossed 60 and those who have got some comorbidity. Comorbidity means those who are already suffering from certain group of diseases like hypertension, diabetes, asthma, COPD, and asthma, diabetes, hypertension, COPD, or even any carcinoma. So those who are already suffering from these group of diseases, if they get affected, that is going to be fatal. So persons who are having some comorbidity are high risk group people, and individuals who have already crossed their 6 decades of life, more than 60. Now, in some cases in China, it was also seen it is not only affecting the older individuals easily, but it is also affecting the younger ones. See, one thing I must tell you, why this we are talking so much about COVID-19. If you understand the name itself, it is also known as novel COVID-19. Novel means new. When something is new or when something is unknown, you tend to fear more, and every day some new things are coming up, some research, some informations, because we never knew about this virus, so it is very dangerous. Got my point? Okay, so as WHO has already declared it as a pandemic with public health consequences, what we need to do? There are two things we need to follow. One is containment and mitigation. Whatever infection has already occurred, we have to contain that, we have to stop that. And mitigation. Mitigation means when you try to bring down the intensity of its clinical features, the intensity of its spreading or the clinical features. So there are 2 points we need to remember. One is containment, the other one is mitigation. So how it is achieved or how it will be achieved? We need to do the case identification and management of contact tracing. The contact person, once you suspect someone or once somebody is already diagnosed, or you have to identify who is prone to suffer from that kind of condition. For example, those who are having common cold, sneezing, flu-like symptoms, identify the case, manage the contact tracing, and large scale social distancing for periodic intervals. Please try to understand. Large scale social distancing for periodic intervals as we are following it right now. Our government asked us for 1 day lockdown. After that, they followed a 21 days lockdown, and we never know whether they will again ask for a few days more. Let's hope this is not the case in our country. Okay, now, so large scale social distancing for periodic interval and health system strengthening like isolation wards, medical supplies, and public risk communication. These are few things we have to do in order to treat, or in order to bring down this pandemic condition. Now, see, as this program was basically designed to train us, and we can cascade this training to our students so that they can ultimately be helpful for our social cause, to our society, so that they can spread awareness, they can report the cases, they can identify the cases, and they can ultimately report to me, and I will report to the CMO of the district, and CMO will report to the magistrate or the district collector. This was the hierarchy. They decided that how the cases should be reported once they are identified. So now I'll come to the role of IU students, means you people, my dear students. This you need to understand. You need to remember as well. Now, what you should know, or what you need to understand, that what kind of information or knowledge you need to communicate to the community about hygiene, hand washing, cough, social distancing, all these vital points, all these crucial things you need to inform and share with the community, means in rural areas or even in urban areas when you are volunteering for this job. Now, community surveillance, contact tracing protocol. You have to follow the contact tracing protocol. What is that? There are certain guidelines for supporting people who are suspected, who are symptomatic, and who are asymptomatic. There can be suspected people that you may suspect he or she may be suffering from COVID-19. And there may be people who are already having the disease, but they are asymptomatic. They are not showing any symptoms. And certain group of people are symptomatic and they are already being diagnosed. And the fourth point, a volunteer, a IU student should remember is there are certain stigmas that is always associated with these kind of conditions. Stigmas and discriminations, isn't it? Now see, when HIV was a point of discussion few years back, when somebody was diagnosed as HIV positive, that person had to undergo lot of stress, lot of stigma, and we all were like, he was not able to show his face to anybody because there are certain conditions that are having that kind of stigma. People try to avoid, people try to distance themselves from you. Even in this case, when everybody knows that somebody is sneezing, somebody is coughing, or he's having fever, or you try to avoid him, isn't it? Because we all fear of our life, we all fear. So this can also happen with you when you are doing your job, when you are counseling the community, in the community or in the village area, when you are informing about informing about the COVID-19, and you are teaching the common people what to do and what not to do. So this is very important. And see, remember one thing: the social stigma, or even we, those who are like lockdown, this lockdown can also lead to certain kind of depressive state, because we are not used to this. I can say for myself, in my whole life, I have never been through this kind of age that I have been asked to stay back at home. This is for all. It has happened with everybody, almost 99% of people. So if this is there is boredom, there is like, you keep on eating, you do not do any physical work, so all these things will come up. So we need to remember all these things. So when somebody is suffering from this kind of disease, there can be some stigma, there can be some discrimination of persons. You need to counsel them to bring back the normalcy in their life. We need to ask them to do some relax kind of workouts like yoga, meditation and all. That will help. Okay, now supporting public health services like community and healthcare, home quarantine in urban and rural areas. You have to understand this. And last but not the least, the most important you have to remember is the personal safety of IU students, those who are involved in counseling, in spreading awareness, or in reporting the cases. Because if you will not be healthy, or when you fear of being disease getting affected from that person, you cannot do your job properly. So it is, you need to take utmost care of yourself first, that you remain healthy throughout this period. So personal safety and personal care of the IU students are one of the major issue. Even though government is deciding of asking the students, but we all have that fear, because there can be a certain group of students, those who are very brave and courageous or adventurous, they can volunteer themselves, but what about their parents? So many issues are there. Okay, now what is the role of a student? The role of a student is to do field surveillance and identify the cases and do proper reporting. There are three things you need to do. Number one, field surveillance, identifying the case. The third one is proper reporting, right? And once you volunteer yourself, what you have to do? What you have to tell to those persons for whom you are appointed as a volunteer, social service volunteer. First is hand hygiene. We all know, we all watch in the TV, there are so many, I mean, radio channels, all are saying about this: hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene, social distancing, and high risk group. Now see, you all can tell them to wash their hand properly with soap once they come from outside, they enter home, or when you touch anything you are suspecting, or when you touch the lift button, when you touch the door handle, you need to immediately you need to wash your hand for 20 seconds with soap. Number one. Number two is respiratory hygiene. Now this is very vital. It is also called cough etiquette. Now suppose, generally what we do, suppose we are about to sneeze, we do like this, or we do like this with hanky, or we do it openly. Now this is the wrong procedure. Or suppose you cannot do it in any other way, what you do, use a tissue paper or hanky to close your nose, then sneeze and throw that tissue paper in a closed dustbin. This can be done. Or you can ask the person to cough like this, and after some time or whenever you get chance, please remove this shirt. That will not affect any, that will not harm any other individual around you. And it is called cough etiquettes. When you sneeze or when you cough, you have to do all these things. You cannot sneeze or cough openly as usually we do. Then the third one is social distancing. My dear friends, this is the thing I came to know after this training. Actually, our honorable Prime Minister is also saying social distancing. Many doctors, everybody is saying social distancing. It is true. Social distancing we should follow, but we can use a better word when we are going to the common people. We can say it is not actually social distancing, it should be फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग. आप उनको ये बोलिए आप किसी भी व्यक्ति से शारीरिक तरीके से 1 मीटर की दूरी पे अपने आप को रखें. सो इट इज एक्चुअली द फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग कैन बी हैजर्डस. मेरा परिवार है, मैं अगर सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन करूंगा, मेरे किसी भी सोशल मतलब ऐसा हो नहीं सकता है. इट इज ए ब्रॉड बेस्ड टर्म, बट फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग, at least you should be at a distance of at least 1 meter or more than that, because please remember the aerosols, they can travel to even 1 meter because they are the small droplets or smaller droplets. So maintain 1 meter distance, physical distancing, that is very vital. Or एक so actually I'm so sorry, the last video was stopped. I don't know the reason. Now see, I was telling you about how to identify the suspects, those who can have the disease. You have to identify. How you can identify suspects? A person with ARD, acute respiratory disease, that is fever, cough and shortness of breath, or a person with history of travel or history of residence in that province or in that country where COVID-19 was reported to have transmission in the last 14 days. Third one is a person with severe acute respiratory infection like fever or at least one sign of respiratory disease and requiring hospitalization with no other etiology. The fourth one is very, very important to remember. When a person's COVID-19 investigation was done, but the reports were not conclusive, means he was not substantially diagnosed to have COVID-19. That is very important. So this is the suspect and who is a contact. मैं आपको पिछले वीडियो में बार बार बता रहा था कॉन्टैक्ट ट्रेसिंग. कॉन्टैक्ट कौन कौन है? सपोज आप किसी हॉस्पिटल में काम कर रहे, यू आर अ डॉक्टर और यू आर ए हेल्थ वर्कर, you are a contact, or rather the doctors are the prime contacts because they come in close contact with the patient while treating them. Somebody has been quarantined or somebody has been kept in isolation, the family member who is looking after him or her is a contact. Or like in Delhi, that in Nizamuddin, you all know that case. When you are attending any gathering where there are suspected cases, so you are a contact. Or you are traveling in close proximity with any infected individual, sitting less than 1 meter distance for at least 6 hours. Suppose you are traveling with any infected in close proximity, that is less than 1 meter for more than 6 hours, so you are a contact. Or you are attending a class, your workplace, household gatherings. When you are attending them, you are a contact. So who are high risk contacts? High risk contacts are those who have come across or have come in contact with the body fluids of the patient, like mucus, vomitus, stool, urine, all these things. When you have come in close contact with the body fluids of any infected person, and you have direct contact with the second is you have direct contact with the infected, you are shaking hands, you are sharing the same plate, you are sharing same utensils, same clothes. And third is travel in close proximity, that is less than 1 meter for more than 6 hours. The same thing which I have told in the previous section. So they are high risk contacts. Low risk contacts are very less, or the chances are very less that you can be considered as a low risk contacts. Suppose you are attending a gathering and no cases has been reported, or none of them have been traveled, have history of traveling in that gathering, so you are a low risk contact. Now, how these eye students they are going to conduct or going to do this job? What the district means, the DM or the collector has decided, they'll form cluster containment zone. 50 houses they will consider in any area, which will be directly looked after by the district magistrate, or they can make it 30 in high risk groups. इनिशियली वो 50 परिवार को एक क्लस्टर कंटेनमेंट जोन बनाएंगे, which will be directly looked after by the district magistrate. अगर वो हाई रिस्क ग्रुप है तो they can bring it down to 30 houses. Now these volunteers, these IU students, they have to visit these houses daily to verify the clinical suspect cases in last 14 days. How and what they will ask, whether anyone has a contact case, or anyone has a confirmed case, or anyone in that cluster containment zone has got history of traveling from that affected country in last 14 days, or any person who has developed ARD in last 14 daज. सो 4-5 चीज़ें हैं. जब आप ये जॉब में मीन्स आपको असाइन किया जाएगा, एक कम्युनिटी का 50 हाउसेस को यू टू लुक आफ्टर. आपको रोज़ जाके उनको ये पूछना है क्या कोई ऐसे देश से आया है जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी कोरोना वायरस का प्रकोप ज़्यादा है लास्ट 14 डेज में. लास्ट 14 डेज में क्या किसी को ऐसा हुआ कि यू हैव डेवलप्ड सडन फीवर, सांस फूलना और खांसी होना, ऐसा किसी को हुआ है? और क्या आपके परिवार में कोई ऑलरेडी सस्पेक्ट है या कोई ऑलरेडी डायग्नोस्ड केस है? ये इन चीज़ों का आपको जानकारी हासिल करना है, एंड यू हैव टू इन्फॉर्म दिस इंफॉर्मेशंस टू द प्रिंसिपल. The principal will send it to the CMO and CMO to the collector of the district. So actually the program was mainly for district level social surveillance. Now contact tracing में आपको कुछ चीज़ें करना पड़ेगा. आप तुरंत इस सिचुएशन में जाएंगे किसी के पास, बोलेंगे कि आप बताइए आपके घर में किसी को खांसी, बुखार, सर्दी जुकाम है या किसी को सांस की तकलीफ है. They will not allow you. You are a stranger for them. So what you have to do? You have to introduce yourself. आप अपने आप को पहले अपना परिचय दीजिए. एक्सप्लेन द पर्पस, किस काम के लिए और आप क्यों उनके घर विजिट कर रहे हो ये उनको बताइए. कलेक्ट द डाटा इन द प्रेस्क्राइब्ड फॉर्मेट. डाटा को एक प्रेस्क्राइब फॉर्मेट मिलेगा, उसमें आप कलेक्ट करिए एंड report it to the authority. Got my point? So this is what you people are going to do. Now please remember, if you find anybody who is a suspect or anybody who is a contact, you ask for home quarantine for 14 days. Then you ask for home quarantine. Now, if that individual develops the proper clinical features of COVID-19 like sudden high rise of temperature, cough and shortness of breath, then you may ask him for isolation. Try to understand, these are two different words. Quarantine means the patient may be asymptomatic. You are just suspecting him to have that disease. So you ask him to go for self quarantine कि प्लीज आप अपने आप को घर में बंद कर लीजिए and do not do traveling, do not use others utensils, others towels, clothes or washrooms. You ask him to do that at least for 15 days. If during this time he develops those clinical features, you may report the case or you may ask the person to visit to the hospital, or you may have to call the ambulance to take him to the hospital, or you ask for isolation, means he may be kept in isolated means room or chamber for required treatment. So you have to understand quarantine and isolation. So once you find out while doing this survey that a family member in any area has got or has shown the clinical features of COVID-19, if you are not informing to the authority or you have got any issues, what you can do, you can inform the ANM or ASHA on telephone so that they can manage the ambulance, or they can call the ambulance to take that individual to the hospital. Create a supportive environment. Home quarantine, that is self home quarantine. Home quarantine of family members. If somebody is suspected, ask the family members also to stay away from him. If not, they invariably get infected. And home care. The person when is home quarantine, he should take home care. Like वॉशरूम अलग सा होना चाहिए, क्लोथ्स अलग होनी चाहिए, प्लेट्स, यूटेंसिल्स, ऑल दो शुड बी सेपरेट फॉर हिम. नाउ हाउ इजीली यू कैन डू इट? यू हैव टू, जैसे आपको अभी इंदौर का केस याद होगा, मीन्स डॉक्टर्स विल ड्रिवन आउट ऑफ फ्यू means miscreants. So to avoid all these things, what you have to do, you have to talk or to involve any influential person of that area. वो कोई प्रधान हो सकते हैं, कोई डॉक्टर हो सकते हैं, कोई रिलीजियस लीडर हो सकते हैं, है ना, कोई टीचर हो सकते हैं of that particular area. So talk to those influential persons. Second, plan according to the high risk groups. जिनको की डायबिटीज है, जिनको की लंग डिजीजेस है, जिनको की किडनी प्रॉब्लम है, जिनको की अस्थमा है, उन लोगों के लिए एक दूसरा ग्रुप या दूसरे तरीके से प्लान करिए. दोज हु आर हाई रिस्क ग्रुप्स. देन कॉन्टैक्ट एग्जिस्टिंग कम्युनिटी नेटवर्क फॉर सपोर्ट. जैसे मैंने आपको अभी बताया कि ANM, आशा, ये दीज आर ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू कॉन्टैक्ट देम फॉर सपोर्ट एंड हेल्प. And last but not the least, you have to develop a household emergency contact. Suppose किसी परिवार में दो लोग, एक प्रेग्नेंट लेडी है और उनके हस्बैंड बीमार पड़ गए, एटलीस्ट यू शुड हैव दैट कॉन्टैक्ट ऑफ द थर्ड पर्सन of that particular family so that he or she can be informed about the present situation, because there is already a pregnant woman whom you should not involve because she is already considered as a high risk means contact. So you need to inform some cousins, maybe some relatives of that individual. So you have to develop that household emergency contact, right? So this is all. There are actually so many points which I had to left out because um, the video will not be uploaded. I may not be able to send it to Provost sir and Kadikar sir. This was a big confusion. I don't know how they will like it, or if there is any issue with the video, I can do it again because right now I'm not doing anything, so I can do it again. Before I end this session, I like to thank our dynamic provost sir, Honorable Mr. Karthik Jain, Dr. Karthik Jain, and our lovable academic director sir, Hiren sir, and also Register sir. They all have been very supportive and means provost sir was a motivating factor for me when I shared that I have joined a training program. He immediately called me up and said, "You need to make a video."